Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be explaining why I think Tyson Fury is very overrated. Now, before the fangirls in the comments get upset, I'm going to have to just put this out there before I go on explaining why I think Tyson Fury is overrated. Just because I say that he's overrated doesn't mean he's bad. So don't mistake overrated with bad, okay? Another thing, I think Tyson Fury is probably, in this generation, one of the better heavyweights we've had in a long time. And as far as British heavyweights are concerned, I think Tyson Fury is the best British heavyweight we've had since Lennox Lewis. Now, I still think Lennox Lewis is better, but in this era, Tyson Fury is definitely one of the better heavyweights we've had in a long time. So I just wanted to put that out there before anybody gets in their feelings about my take on why I think overall in the landscape of heavyweight lineage, why Tyson Fury definitely is not, at least in my opinion, not an all-time great. And no, I'm not saying he's overrated because he lost to Usyk twice, because there's no shame in losing to Usyk. Usyk is, you know, phenomenal in his own right. He is, in my opinion, an all-time great. And Usyk is up there with like the likes of, you know, Evander Holyfield, you know, Lennox Lewis, them guys, right? He's up there with those guys, in my opinion. Tyson Fury, I think he's right below those guys. But the reason why I think he's overrated is because he very notoriously underperforms in so many fights. There's so many fights where he underperforms. An easy one I can give an example for is Otto Wallen. He did not look good in that fight, okay? He looked very bad in that fight. He didn't look good at all, in my opinion. And look at how Otto Wallen's been looking recently. I mean, he got stopped by AJ, and he lost to Derek Chisora. And listen, I love Derek Chisora. He's a warrior, you know, God bless him. But Derek Chisora, especially now, he is not a very high-level heavyweight, okay? So, you know, that just goes to show, like, how did Tyson Fury look that bad against Otto Wallen when AJ was able to stop him easily and Derek Chisora had a good fight against them too? It just doesn't look good in retrospect. You know what I mean? But also another thing too, he underperformed against Francis Ngannou. What? Francis Ngannou is a UFC fighter that, you know, at the time when he fought Tyson Fury, was having his first professional boxing match, and he looked awful in that fight, you know? And I know some of y'all are going to say, well, he didn't really take that fight seriously, he didn't really train. Listen, I get that, right? First of all, you know, that's his problem. He decided to not take Francis seriously. That's his problem. But it doesn't take away from the fact that he looked really bad in that fight. And bro, some people think that Francis Ngannou won. Now, I don't think he won. I think Tyson Fury won that fight. But still, it doesn't matter. Morally speaking, it looks really bad. It's a moral victory for Francis Ngannou, rather, that he actually went to points decision, and the scorecards were actually kind of close. I mean, that's not good. That's not a good look. And then look what happened to Francis Ngannou when he fought AJ, bro. AJ dismantled Francis Ngannou just the same way with Otto Wallen, right? Tyson Fury didn't look good against Otto Wallen or Francis Ngannou, and AJ stopped both of them. And also, by the way, look at AJ, what happened to AJ recently. He lost to Daniel Dubois. He got knocked out. Now, there's no shame in that because Daniel Dubois is, you know, a good heavyweight. He's a young heavyweight. He's coming up, and, you know, AJ is on his way out. He's 34. But still, you know, Tyson Fury's wins, with quotations on them, have not been looking good in retrospect, okay? And another thing is, like, people describe Tyson Fury as, like, a slick heavyweight. I wouldn't necessarily say that Tyson Fury is slick. I mean, look at his career. Bro gets dropped a lot. Bro gets dropped like tons of times throughout his career, and almost got stopped by Usyk, who's a cruiserweight, not even a natural heavyweight, and bro almost got stopped. You know, so I don't think he's slick per se. Obviously, he's a good boxer. And, you know, I'm not saying he's not slick at all. I'm just saying he's not like Floyd Mayweather slick. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro gets dropped, okay? I think Tyson Fury is more awkward than slick. If you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's had a lot of success throughout his career because of his, you know, his tall 6'9" frame and his twitchiness and all that kind of stuff, you know, his feints. I think that's what makes him great as a boxer, but I don't think slick is the right word to describe Tyson Fury, because if he was slick, quote unquote slick, I don't think he wouldn't be getting dropped as much as he has throughout his career. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe some of y'all think differently, but you know, but that's Tyson Fury for you. And, you know, listen, and we got to talk about the Usyk losses, of course. And I'm going to have to say this. AJ also lost to Usyk twice, too. So there's no shame in losing to Usyk. But it's not a good look when you're 290 and 6'9" or 6'7", whatever people say he is, and you're barely struggling to get by against a guy that used to be a cruiserweight, you know? And you almost got stopped by him, too, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not, you know, not a good look, in my opinion. And again, no shame in losing to Usyk. Usyk's a great champion, but I'm just saying, if you're that much bigger than a guy and you can't even put him away, and not only that, but you're getting outboxed by him too, on top of that, it's not, you know, not a good look, in my opinion. So, you know, that's why I think Tyson Fury is overrated. In that sense, I'm not saying he's not a great heavyweight. He's definitely one of the better ones we've had recently. But I am saying that he's not all-time great worthy, in my opinion. You know, I guess you could say back when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, maybe you could argue at that time he was great. But even then, like, when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, that was an old Klitschko. A Klitschko that was like in his late 30s, early 40s, something like that. Like, that was not prime Klitschko, because every time you hear people talk about Tyson Fury and AJ and their greatness, they always say, oh, Vladimir Klitschko, they beat Vladimir Klitschko. Bro, in both fights that AJ and Tyson Fury had with Vladimir Klitschko, bro was like 40 or something like that. So they didn't even beat prime Klitschko. So I don't know why people put so much weight on that. They beat Klitschko though. Yeah, he beat Klitschko when the man was fucking 40, okay? I don't know why people put so much weight on that. I'm not saying it's not impressive. It's still impressive, but it's, come on, guys. He beat Klitschko when he was in a wheelchair. Let's, you know, calm down a little bit. But, so, yeah, that's, and arguably, that's Tyson Fury's best win. It was against Klitschko. And then the Wilder trilogies. I didn't even get into the Wilder fights, bro. Okay, Wilder, he is an all-time great puncher, okay? A one-punch knockout artist. That's what Wilder is. Other than that, bro is a terrible boxer. Look at, or his boxing technique, rather. It's terrible. Bro can't box. Guys, I'm being serious. I just train normally and casually at home, and I have better boxing technique than Wilder. Like, Wilder cannot box, bro. And I'm not saying, like, you know, like, okay, I know that sounds like, that's a crazy take to have, because he's like, at the time when he fought Tyson Fury, he was like 40-0, 40 knockouts or something like that. I'm saying, like, his technique is terrible. Like, Wilder can't box. Like, he's not slick at all. He only has athleticism and a heavy right hand for him, right? So if you look at the 3 fights Tyson Fury had against Wilder, you know, the first fight was, you know, a close competitive fight. The second fight was a demolition job. And then the third fight was a war. And look at Wilder. Look at how Wilder has aged since that fight. You know, he lost to Joseph Parker, who at the time when he lost to Joseph Parker, not a lot of people rated Joseph Parker. People slept on Joseph Parker, and then Joseph Parker, you know, won that fight. And then he also lost to Zong, right? Now, Zong is actually a boxer that a lot of people have rated for a long time, and he brutally got finished by Zong. And look at Zong now. Zong lost to Caballel, right? So, you know, I'm just saying, like, all the wins that Tyson Fury's had has not aged well in retrospect, if you look at it now, with the data we have now. Now, you could say, yeah, but he beat Wilder when he was undefeated. Okay, yeah, good point. He did. He did beat Wilder when he was undefeated. Now, if you look at the landscape of how the heavyweight division's been moving, what we've been seeing now, what all these guys that Tyson Fury has fought, it's not been looking good. It's not been aging well, okay? So, you know, Tyson Fury, realistically, the best thing he's done in his career is beat a 40-year-old Klitschko, and he beat a Wilder who had a padded record against guys that were mediocre at best. So that's just my opinion, guys. I'm not saying Tyson Fury is not a great boxer. Of course he is. I'm just saying he's overrated, and I don't think he's an all-time great. In the same light of why I don't think Mike Tyson is an all-time great. By the way, go watch that video in case you haven't seen it. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.